Here we're going to look at solving a radical equation. So regardless of how complicated these turn out once you start trying to simplify them, they all start out the same way. To get rid of a square root, you need to square both sides, and all of both sides. So first you need to check that the square root's all by itself, because it's not useful to square one side. If the square root isn't alone, it won't get rid of it. So here the square root is the whole left-hand side, so I'll square both sides. The square and the square root cancel, so I'm left with 10v minus 16, and on this side I'm squaring v, so I have v squared. Now I notice I'm solving something that's quadratic. How do I know it's quadratic? Because I see a squared in there. So if I'm solving something with a squared, I need everything on one side of the equation. It's got to be equal to 0, regardless of whether I'm going to factor or use quadratic formula. That's the case. So I'm going to subtract 10v from both sides and add 16. So everything over here cancels. So I have 0 equals v squared minus 10v plus 16. So now hopefully this factors, because that'll be my easiest option. So if I can think of something that multiplies to 16, maybe minus 8 minus 2, we'll check, adds to negative 10, multiplies to positive 16. And so now I have two factors. I can set them each equal to 0. So if v minus 8 is supposed to equal 0, v would need to be 8. Or to make this part 0, v would need to be 2. Now here's something extremely crucial to these problems. Sometimes you get two answers, sometimes you get one or two of the same one. You always have to check the answers, because you can do everything right and you can come out with answers that don't work. And there's no rhyme or reason necessarily to that you can tell at the end. Maybe they both work, maybe neither one works, maybe only one works. The only way you can tell is check. So it's always a good idea to check in general, but on these, extra important to check. So if we erase our solving, we want to take our original equation and we want to see, does v equal 8? And then we'll check on v equals 2. Do they both work in this equation? So let's see, if I put 8 in here for v, this says square root of 80 minus 16 equals 8, right? We're putting it everywhere where there's a v. And so 80 minus 16 is 64. So is square root of 64 equal to 8? Yeah, 8 equals 8. Definitely. All right, now I'll try the 2. So if I put 2 in here, this says square root of 20, right? 10 times 2 minus 16 equals 2. Square root of 4 equals 2. 2 equals 2. So it looks like in this case they both work. So now that I've checked, I could go ahead and say these are both solutions to that original equation.